if there was one thing that was certain in the entire thing, it was uncertainty. Maybe there is a higher plan.
Correct.
There is a higher plan. When I look back, it was again a lesson. Stop controlling the outcomes.
So they should at least start doing it 6 to 8 months in advance. First of all, they should try to spend half an hour for themselves. Sit quietly in a place. Try to meditate. If you have the slightest inclination or the desire to go, think no further.
Vardhini, thank you for coming for this podcast. I've been wanting someone who has been to Mount Kailash and did the Kailash Parikrama. So when I did, I wanted to do a talk about, what happened with me. But at the same time, I wanted to invite somebody who has gone through that, prepared with mind, body and soul and did the Parikrama. And I was very surprised to see that there was a person who wrote a book on it. So I thought, who else can I invite better than you? So I want to hear from you, your story. What was your calling to go to Kailash and how was your experience? Was there any calling? And what would you suggest? You see a lot of people saying, I want to go to Kailash. Some people say it like it's going to be just another trek. But, they need to be really prepared. So I want to hear your story. What was your calling and how did it go?
Thank you so much, Dr. Vignesh, and really honored to hear that you chose me as one of the speakers for today's podcast. Very happy. See, this is not a call that comes suddenly. This is something, the seed of which is already there inside you. Maybe right from your birth itself, but you don't know when it germinates and when it comes up. So for me, Kailash has always been a distant dream because born in a very, very orthodox family and got married, and I've come to another orthodox family where it is all Rama Bhaks. And for them, going this long, they believe that God is here everywhere. Then why you need to take the pains to go till Kailash or go till... I've been to various other places also, Amarnath, Kedarnath and Manimahesh Kailash, Adi Kailash. See, all these things, it is not actually a yatra of the body. It is a yatra of the mind as well. You need to train your mind as well, not just your body. Because when first we decided to go on the Amarnath Yatra, they were like, it is on a very high altitude, so oxygen is a problem. So please start walking, start climbing steps. Those were the kind of recommendations people gave us. But no one told that you have to look into your inner self. You have to do pranayam, which is the best thing. So as an Ayurvedic doctor, I'm sure that you would be knowing that pranayam is the best technique for you to maintain the oxygen level in your body, and climbing up a flight of maybe 10 or 15 flight of stairs and all those things makes no sense. That is only for your physical fitness. But if you want your the rest of the fitness or your mind to be well, you need to have all these things. Meditate for half an hour. So all those things are something that a normal trainer or a normal person doesn't tell. But I think I have been in this line, or rather the spiritually inclined line, for the past 16 years. So I didn't know what to do, but I had a guru who initiated me into this, but that was also by accident that I met him. Everything happens like that, nothing
There's no accident.
unscripted.
There's no accident.
Exactly. Everything is something which is all predetermined, which we don't know. So everything happens for a reason also. If you talk to a person and a spark comes, that is also a reason. So like that it all started, and it was soon after COVID that I decided that I need to go behind things that I like, because I've got 2 boys. So the boys are also growing big, and eventually when they go out of the nest, they would be asking me, Amma, I never told you to be at home. Why didn't you go? That time, my physical body may not allow me to travel because I would have grown old. So I decided, okay, let me start. Initially, I had a lot of hesitations at home because going this far, it is not a luxurious trip. Because, there is nothing. After, you are also a Kailash Yatri, so even a toilet is a luxury in Kailash. That is least of your priority there. That is not there in our list at all. We don't think about that. But the rest of the people, they cannot understand. So before going for a yatra, they have a list of things. Oh, will we have bed? Will there be blankets? How cold will it be? Will there be toilets? Will there be mobile range? These are the set of questions that normally a yatri before going, they ask me. So I said, see, now what is your intention? Why are you going? Are you going to see Kailash or to get the blessings of Lord Shiva, or are you going for a trek? Because your questions are all about your body and how your things are going to be. You're still worried about connecting with your home. So I think I'm moving away from your question.
No, you're asking some of you're giving answers for already the questions that I had in mind. So
Because this is the question that you asked cannot be answered in a sentence.
Absolutely.
You have many things connected with it. So that is why I'm just going elaborate. And
So you said that, this is a seed that is already inside you. Like not everybody has that. So when I did the parikrama, I saw Tibetans doing that inhuman anga pradakshina. Like, they won't just, okay, I'm climbing that Dolmala pass. My heart rate is spiking up to another level. And I'm fighting my thoughts. Will I be able to finish this? And it was cold. And suddenly the sun will be like scorching on you. And then suddenly it becomes cold and there will be wind and snow will come. And certain parts, it is snowing on the floor. Like you could slip anytime. And at that time, I saw a few Tibetan, I think they must be definitely in their 50s or 60s. Or maybe, I don't know what their age is, but looking at them. And they are just prostrating on the ice, getting up, moving forward. And you could see all the mud on their face, ice on their face. And they close their eyes and they pray and again fall down and then again go up. I was like, okay, sometimes we might think, isn't this quite mad that you need to go to this level of pain, self-torture on yourself? But on the other hand, when I started finding out why do people do this, I asked my guide. They were saying that this is a kind of a ritual to go beyond your body. And also it's to dissolve your ego. And it's also to purify multiple things, And we've been trained to live in comfort, and we misunderstand comfort to be our happiness. When I look back, after I completed my yatra, I had like we have a saying, where it is too sunny and it's raining. Like there is a contrast. The same contrast I was having. My body is like exhausted, in pain, but there was a huge contentment that I cannot put it in words. So that was a contrast and I was going through. And when I saw these Tibetan people doing that Anga Pradakshina, I was like, that was one of the most touching point of that whole experience. Of course, it was a physically and mentally challenging part. So if somebody has to do that kind of an intensive thing, and when I asked them, they take more than 3 to 4 weeks to complete that 52 kilometers.
Yes, it's almost 40 days.
Yeah, something like one mandala gala. And if somebody has to do that intense out of willingly, some people are forced to be in pain because of certain, but they're choosing themselves and going through this.
Yes.
That is something you have to understand. There is something beyond. I cannot explain it in logic.
Definitely, yes.
So when you're saying, the seed has to be inside. I also saw people who comes with the sheer joy of trekking. And I saw even the most physically fit person also struggling a little bit there. And I think the reason, as you said, you would have done Annapurna, and say I've done multiple treks like Annapurna or even few treks in Swiss Alps. And what I found out, when you are going suddenly with a few thousand feet in a day, that is quite a strong hike, like strong ascension. And usually in all the other hikes, you go like one day you're going 500 meters, the second day again. So this will really may help you to acclimatize.
That is correct.
But here you are going directly there, and then it's like you're jumping into ice cold water immediately. And in that area, even with physical fitness, I saw people struggling. Like people who are wearing the best gears, the North Face and the Columbia and the walking sticks. So you have the best shoes, and they had the thing connected to their face, and then I think they put like 2 tubes of sunscreen on their face. But still, I saw them struggling with oxygen mask at the top of the Dolmala Pass. On the other hand, I saw people like these Tibetan monks, and my guide, he was a Nepali guy. Every half an hour, he would be smoking in that high altitude, and I'm like catching my breath. So you see a contrast of people coming purely out of devotion, people with fitness, but people who had that devotion, even though they were like pain, like, I saw people like in real pain. you could see, me being an Ayurvedic doctor, you see a lot of patients, and looking at their body, maybe they are in their pre-diabetic area or overweight or high cholesterol, but they will be like in pain, but still they'll be like praying Om Namah Shivaya or something, and then that is getting them to move further. When I look back, when you are having that higher power and higher purpose, there is a power that possesses you. That is something that I witnessed there.
100% yes. Because, see, all these things are not possible just because I wanted to go. He also wanted me to go. That is the only reason why you or me, we were able to complete this yatra and experience the bliss. Because for a normal person, because when I told my family that I want to go to Kailash, and I decided that I'm going to Kailash, so I went, got the blessings of the elders in the house. So most of them don't even know where Kailash is. Most of them still believe it is in India. And in fact, one of the person from my own family, extended family, asked me, oh, is there a big temple? Is the temple as big as the Brihadishwara temple in Tanjore? I smiled and said, actually there is no temple, Mama. Oh, there is no temple. Then for what are you going? I said, no, to experience the scenic beauty. I just told like that and cut short the topic because I thought it was no use taking the topic forward because they don't even know what is there. Another person asked us, is this a self-imposed punishment? For that I just smiled and just left it like that. I believe that question didn't require an answer itself. So that is what I'm telling. Each people perceive it in different way. As you rightly said, you have people who come there to take content for their social media. Some people just for the heck of, or for the love of trekking, they come and do. But the others, they go there for the love of Shiva. And if what is there in your mind, you can see there. If you are actually going to experience bliss and to experience the Shivoham, you will experience it. So there is a saying telling that if you keep an yellow spectacle, you will see everything as yellow. So whatever is there in your mind, whatever you perceive in your mind, and with what intention you are going there, that will be answered. That is for sure. That is the only reason why many people who are older than you are able to reach there with no issues. Many people much younger than you aren't able to reach the destination. And as you said, the Tibetan people and the Jain people, Tibetan people, when they do the Anga Pradakshina, even I was puffing and panting and I had to stop there for a pit stop. So when I am seeing this person, as you rightly said, a middle-aged person doing Anga Pradakshina with no expression, that is, they are actually enjoying it and doing it, was actually humiliating for me. I was thinking I was the biggest Shiv Bhakt. But when I saw that, I understood that I was nothing. And again, during the parikrama, we saw small children, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, they were just running. So this is all, they were enjoying and they were running. But we were worried. Oh my God, if I fall down now, what will happen? We were actually carrying the burden of our family and so many other burden with us. So unless you drop that burden and have only the feeling of Shivoham with you, I think we will not be able to experience it fully.
I think in our trip, when I was, we got stuck in this place called Hilsa, which is the border town to Kaklakot. Because so many people who were supposed to come in the group couldn't come. So when we were waiting there, we saw a lot of people were chanting bhajans. Some people were, reciting mantras. They were meditating, connecting with nature. On the other hand, there are like people like complaining, oh, this could have happened the other way. And I even saw myself, a lot of people were spiritual bypassing. In the name of spirituality, they take it as a way to continue their patterns. And somewhere when they were also complaining, there is a part in me that also wanted to start complaining, but then, oh my God, then why am I here? That question started coming. At the end of that trip, I was just trying to understand and analyze. I was just journaling all my thoughts on it. And I just observed people who were like constantly trying to control things. Like, this has to go this way. Will I have this? They were like constantly obsessed with, will I have security here? Will I have connection here? Will I have this? I think they had a very tough time. I mean, in my observation.
Right. I can
that
totally
is
understand.
one thing that
yes.
I observed.
Yes. Because
And-
they are still in the material world. They have not come out of it. So when you have to travel to such a place, you have to keep the material world at home and then come. Otherwise, don't come. Go sit in the puja room and pray. So if you have to get spiritually evolved, you have to keep some things at bay.
That's what at Yama Dwar you have to give up something.
Exactly. So what does it say? You are leaving the Bhulog and you are entering Swargalok. So this is the last point at Bhulog. I think you have a board also there. So this is the kind of thing. So just imagine. So you are going to a place where things are not under your control. Whoever be the travel agency who's taking you, even they don't have control over it. So what can they do? So it is all, the superpower is the one who's controlling it. So have faith. That is the only thing that is being tested. And when that is strong, there's a proverb that says, when you have God as the captain of your ship may rock but never sink. So when you have that kind of a strong confidence, or you have that complete faith or surrender in the supreme power, then why fear? Everything is taken care of by him.
At Yama Dwar, like that's the beginning, before
Of
we
the
start the
parikrama.
parikrama. I saw some people leaving their books, they had written a lot of things and leaving. Some people were leaving their hair, nails. And when I started reading more about it before, it's just like a way of sacrificing a part of you so that you allow something new to come for yourself. That's the thing that I was reading. Like, being an Ayurvedic doctor, I see patients having difficulty to let go. So we say inability to let go on the body is what we call as constipation.
Okay.
And some people have it in their mind. They're not able to let go. And if you look at all the problems, people hold grudges. People are not able to forgive. And what is forgiveness? It's another kind of letting go.
Yes, true. Absolutely.
Okay, he did that to me and I keep that in my memory, and that becomes your anchor. And that is what is possessing you.
Correct.
So the most freest person is the one who is able to let go. And we read a lot about Lord Shiva as the force of destruction. I mean, this is what we read.
Correct.
But actually, it's the ability to let go.
Correct. What is he destructing?
Yeah.
That is the problem. See, often mistake many things like this, That is the problem with our Puranas also. My nephew, when he was in 3rd standard, there was a student in his class, his friend, who he was from another religion. So he came and asked my nephew, hey, do you worship Lord Krishna? So, yes, we worship. How can you worship Lord Krishna? He's got 10,000 wives. So my nephew, who doesn't know anything about this, okay, he's in 3rd standard, he's like, oh, he's got 10,000 wives? Yes. See, having one wife itself is okay. But how can one person have 10,000 wives? And you are worshipping that God. So this was the comment a 3rd standard boy is telling my nephew in same class. So this fellow came home and asked, Amma, is it like this? So I was also there. So I said, okay, let me answer this. So I told him what it is all about and why the Gopikas wanted, they all wanted a husband like Lord Krishna, and they were all lured towards him. So that is the thing, not that he married these many people, or there is nothing like that. Okay, so please try to understand. And I started to explain everything to him. So what I am telling is, my co-sister was not able to explain this well to him, but I knew the story, so I was able to tell him. That is the reason why he understood. Otherwise, even he will not be able to understand what it is. So same like what you said, Shiva, the Lord of destruction. What is he destructing? So this is why people often mistake it. Brahma, the creator, Shiva, the destroyer. What is Shiva destroying? And moreover, once we are all mortals, we have to be mortals also. So when that has to go up, no. From the place where we came, we have to go up. So that job is done by him. And no other destruction. So until and unless that is made clear, or people understand that, we just take that phase as a phase. Okay, only destruction. We just take it. Okay, phrase destruction means we take the actual meaning of that. But we don't probe deep into it or try to understand what it is all about.
I think that analysis of, everyone, we want to give space for something new to come. But if something new has to come, you have to say goodbye to something
Exactly.
past. Like that's why they say, if the cup is full, There's no...
Correct.
And going there, I read a book when I was in my teenage on going to Kailash. And that book was a very strong influence towards me. And after that was the time when I was like, I had to go. And then I applied for the Indian Army used to take a group.
Yes.
And they have a lottery system because there's a huge...
Correct.
And I applied for it, but somehow my exams and certain things collided. So it came at the same time. So it was like a conflict of thing and I was sad. And then the second time it happened, it was during the COVID, prior to that. And then now this was an opportunity to really go there. And going there, like, I used to read that when you go there, what should we have in our mind, like a sankalpa. And what they say is, when you go there, go with an open mind, as open as possible. Don't go with a compulsion that many people go there thinking, okay, after going there, a lot of my karmas will get burned, or some good things will happen. And what I've also read is, after people going there, actually things can get even intense in your life, because there is also a saying, once you get into spirituality, things can fast forward to burn a lot of things. That's another school of thought. And I think I can relate a lot to what they're saying, why they say that. So when I was like, keep the mind open and go there with a real understanding. Don't expect any great aha spiritual moment. And when I look back, I didn't have any great spiritual aha moment. But the whole thing, when I was just documenting what all was going on, it was just about, if there was one thing that was certain in the entire thing, it was uncertainty. Everywhere, flights were getting delayed. Things were just not on time. And I was thinking, what is the greatest teacher that can train you to let go? It is uncertainty. And that was my lesson there.
But hope was constant.
Yeah, hope was there. Hope was like, okay, if things are not going well, don't give up hope.
Exactly. So the hope is always constant,
Yeah.
That also did. So uncertainty was there, which because of our, the devotion or the depth of the devotion, we never left hope. That was always there with us.
Like hope dies last.
Exactly, correct.
So I was like, this uncertainty, like, you need to be prepared, but the more you fixate on the outcome, you suffer.
Yes.
And that was my aha moment in that entire trip. And going out of comfort, going out of things, somehow your mind is such a PhD holder in pulling you down.
I totally understand.
It was like, and also depending on the group, sometimes the whole group's energy can also, either it can pull you up or pull you down. Because we had various people, like old, young, and people who were like struggling, and they said that I will go in the pony, and if I'm able to complete, it is good. Otherwise, as it is. And in our group, the first day, the first half was fantastic. Suddenly there was a heavy snow and rain and people's shoes getting wet, and they were fighting hypothermia, and majority of them had to go back. Because the guide came and said, there is a possibility that the weather can continue for the next days and might close. He just said might close, but everybody, because it was uncomfortable and it was not easy. And I think that the time I went, it was during the Saga Dava festival. It was like one of the most peak traffic time. And also there was a backlog of 2-3 days of parikrama got stopped. So the day I went, 3 days of people who couldn't do parikrama was also there. So it was quite a crowded place. And a lot of people had to go back. And I saw people who were like committed, no, I have to complete the parikrama. And they were going back with a lot of pain and sadness. And after they went back, they were like, at least I'm happy that I got to see the darshan from the Dirapuk. Like
the
North Face. And they were like, North Face is also another brand, but they got to see they got to see the Kailash from that area, and they were like, I am very content. Maybe somewhere this is the area that I had to stop. And then I was having a chat with one of the organizer who organizes the tent, and he was smoking his cigarette there in that top, and I'm like, how do these guys smoke? And I'm like still trying to acclimatize here. Then he just made a comment. This is the area where the mountain will filter who should continue and who should not. And if it's meant to you, you will continue. And I was going through a mental chatter. Should I continue? Should I go back? Because it got sub-zero climate and I was freezing. But I kept saying, okay, the worst case scenario, I stay for one more night in this tent. I can manage that. And tomorrow morning we will make a decision. And somehow the next morning, it was like the calm after that storm, like blue sky. And suddenly I saw one of the most magnificent golden darshans of Kailash, like which you always see on the books,
Yes.
like photoshopped.
Yes.
And there was the real God's Photoshop there. And that was...
Lasts hardly for around half
Yeah.
an hour. That's it. Not more than that. And if it is cloudy, then God.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, weather uncertainty, you absolutely have no idea what is going to happen when.
And that it's very unpredictable. Like the weather apps will never give you justice.
Correct.
So that was like anything will change. And if things are going right now, just be happy things will change. And if things are not going well, be happy that it's going to change.
Yes.
That lesson
Correct.
is like, that's a real experience there. And that was so I'm just curious, what was your, I mean, it's not right to say if you have any spiritual aha moment, but what was your experience when you went there and came back? When you reflect, was there any revelation that you had that you would like to share?
Oh, there have been many. Oh,
What was your top?
If you ask me, many things that we saw then, I just passed it off like that. But then, after that, when you recollect, you understand, oh, was it that? What is that? Okay, I didn't see this person anywhere else. I just saw him there. He helped me and then he vanished. But at that time, we don't realize. It is always like that, you realize it at a later stage. So I have had 2-3 incidents there. And right at Derapuk, when I'm seeing the north face of Kailash, an elderly person, he must be in his 60s with his wife. They were from Maharashtra. I was also there crying, mixed emotions, because it was my life ambition or my life goal to come there to see this mighty Kailash. Now I was just wondering, what else do I have in life? Because your life ambition is achieved. Now what else do I have? So this gentleman with his wife comes forward to me and pranams, and he says, he hands over 100 rupee note to me. And I didn't know what it was. So he's like, Namaste ji, I'm from Maharashtra, everything in Hindi. I just completed my Narmada Parikrama, because for them, Narmada Parikrama is very sacred. I just completed my Narmada Parikrama before coming to Kailash, and I'm here and I see you as Narmada Maiya. So please accept this. And both of them wanted to prostrate in front of me. I said, see, first of all, sir, you are so much older to me. 1. And 2, in front of this place or in this mighty Kailash or in this place, only he is there. There is no importance given to anyone else. So please, so I felt like there is, and Narmada Maiya is supposedly the daughter of Lord Shiva. So I was stunned when someone whom you don't even know, and you have around 100 people over there. So this gentleman with his wife is just coming to me and telling this. So you can understand. So he handed over this 100 rupee to me, which I still have it. So he says, please don't mistake me. So he's telling all this because I am a total stranger to him. So I have that with me. Then while praying, I got a stone. Right from the Kailash, one stone came rolling and fell on my feet. So I just took it up because our family people have told that when you go to Manasarovar, every stone is supposed to have Muppathu Kodi Devargal is there. There is 33,000 crore Devas. They come to Manasarovar, they take a dip. So the stones are all spiritually so enriched stones. So try to take a few stones, we can keep it in our puja room. I just picked up a few stones from Manasarovar, but then from Kailash, I never knew that. I didn't have the idea itself of taking, because even when you go to a Shiva temple, they tell you don't take anything from a Shiva temple. You have to even sit down and you have to even dust your legs, feet there, so that you don't even take a peck of sand from there. So there I getting the stone. So I said, okay, maybe he wanted me to take this, and I just put it inside my pocket. And when I come here and see, it is exactly in the shape of the south face of Kailasha. It is a pakka triangle, one in the south face of Kailasha with all the grooves and all those things. If you see the south face, it has got a lot of step kind of a feel. So same that kind of a stone I got. Then aha moment, it was there in Manasarovar.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a shooting star falling, and we saw a light which was there at the end of the lake for around 5 to 7 minutes. It was just shining brightly. It was stationary there. It was shining brightly. Then slowly it went into the lake. We don't know what it was. And it was an Amavasa day. So it is a no moon. But still, the sky was lit.
Yeah, because it's a no moon. So
It's a no
there's
moon.
no
So
light
we
from-
no moonlight, but it was lit with twilights. So much of stars, everything. So it is like, if you want me to just recap, I will be traveling back, It is very difficult. Once you travel, your mind travels back to Kailash, and when you want to come here for the podcast, it's very difficult because I just go on to that field. Because I'm still not out of that field.
I think I'm still recovering from that. It took some time. And after coming back, one thing I noticed, small things, there's a lot of gratitude. In my story, what happened, after I completed the Dolmala Pass and reached... So at Zutulpuk, I was supposed to stay there. And then the next morning, I had to continue to Darching. But at Zutulpuk, there was no accommodations left because it was first come, first serve, and it was overcrowded.
It's a smaller place
it's a
also
smaller
when
place,
compared to Dharapuk.
So there, I just realized that there is no accommodation. So there are two options. Either you freeze to death. Right? Person who was coming with me, he's a priest from Ghaziabad. And he's a hardcore Shiv Bhakt. So at that time, from Dirapuk to continuing, so I was the only one who was like adamant, I want to continue. And the guide was like, no, it's quite challenging. Because somewhere I think the guide was also fear mongering, because it's easier for him if I don't continue, because the rest of the group has decided to leave. But I was adamant in the sense, if the pass is open, why can't I continue? I am prepared. It's okay. And the guide who said just before I left, he was saying, "Upar mein ice hai, and if you slip and fall down, please don't break your head." This is the last words he tells me before going. And I'm like, okay, I didn't want to listen.
What a blessing! What an ashirwad you got.
So that was like, wherever you are going, there were a lot of obstacles. But I'm like, after having that golden darshan of Kailash, the something was like, no, you can continue. That was my gut feeling.
That is how people are. They give you only negative comments, And so we have to be positive within ourselves.
And that was the last words before I started my second trek. And this gentleman who was coming with me, he doesn't understand a word in English. So he didn't hear what the guide was saying.
Good.
So he was like, sir, he was like, in our school, we see our PT master, like a physical teacher, who will be wearing one jacket and one jockey pants and one normal running shoes. And he was coming with that, where in upstairs the temperature can drop sub-zero, it could rain, it could freeze. And he was wearing like he's going for another jog in the park. And this was a gentleman who said, I want to join. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to... Because at some point, if something happens, I have to take, because he's part of the group.
Yeah. The realization as a doctor
came. There was a part in me like, what if things go wrong? Will I be able to continue? What will happen? All of this. And this gentleman was like, Shivji mere paas hai. You don't have to worry. Chinda mat karo. He was like, don't worry, let me just continue. Listening to him, I'm like, okay, if he's saying with that much conviction, okay, why not? Let's just continue. And then every time he started slowing down, there was a monkey mind in me. Did I make a mistake in taking him also with me? And then when I look back, he actually slowed down the pace. Otherwise, I would have gone faster, and maybe I had other problems.
You were responsible for him.
Yeah. And then what happened, by the time we reached, I was thinking, okay, if we are going to go this slow, I am not going to get a tent to sleep at Zutulpuk. But then at that time, you don't think about it, because every moment you will see a different face of Kailash. You will see, we talk about the 5 elements, Prithvi, Jalam, Ak, and you see the dance of all these 5 elements there. Like you see the ice, you see the Panchabhutas dance, you see it there. And you see the sun, which is, you're actually close to 4-5 kilometers above the sea level. And then the wind can be so adamant, and sometimes it can be so dusty also when the cars are going. So you see the real dance of Panchama, and in that, you are just lost in that, even though sometimes your body is in pain. But you have no time to think about yourself, because you have to somehow reach there. And then this gentleman, he was like, I want to take the ambulance to go back at the end, when we come to know that there is no place to stay. And I asked him, no, actually, I had a sankalpa, I had an intention to complete it by walking. So I decided I will continue my walk. Maybe you can go by ambulance. But then the problem was, since he doesn't have a mobile phone with a roaming, I have to wait there to get him an ambulance. And if I do that, I will be delayed to complete my parikrama. And then I was like, at some point you get very irritated. Why did I take? But then I was thinking, what if this is my father? How would I behave? I had to change my approach, and I was like praying, okay, let something happen. Then I was like trying to get an ambulance so that he can go by the ambulance and I can continue my walk. It was only 5 o'clock. So if I start at that time, I would have finished this third day trek by 10 o'clock I should have reached. And suddenly he said, let me also walk with you. So he also started walking with me, and we both completed that entire parikrama. And then I asked him, why are you so adamant that you want to complete by today itself? Why didn't you want to stay back or this? So next morning I had planned for a Rudrabhisheka. And he was staying with me, and then he told me he's a priest in a big Shiva temple. And the next morning he gets up around 7 o'clock, and I saw one of the most beautiful Rudrabhisheka. After that entire thing, and we took the water from Gauri Kund and all of that, and he was using all of that in that Rudrabhishekam, and the bhakti with which he was doing it. When you look back, when things doesn't go your way, don't come to a judgment that okay, maybe there is a higher plan.
Correct.
There is a higher plan. When I look back, it was again a lesson. Stop controlling the outcomes. Maybe you can participate in it and see where it is going. Maybe sometimes that obstacle is your way. That was some of my lessons when I started looking. And then when I started showing, this was the way the Abhishekam was happening, and my parents was like, okay, this is how, when you go through these treks, sometimes people will also come to test you.
Correct.
How are you? And there is this thing, the highest form of testing your spirituality is at your home, because that's your quality check. How good are you? And in this trek, I saw this entire group was like, the people are having multiple needs, multiple expectations, their propagandas, what is happening. And some people, when you greet them, they say, okay, I said good morning. Oh, you should say Namah Shivaya. And some will be like, no, you should say Rama Rama. It's just like a lot of different, coming from different background, different cultural upbringing and different language. And I think one of my challenge was to definitely to talk in Hindi, because I was only one from South India. But overall, when I look back, that stop complaining, and everything has its way, and having that, as you said, hope. In another way, it's a trust. The trust that somebody is always there behind you. And you could see that when you were going with that kind of a vision, somewhere you will, like this saying called reticular articulating system. It's like once you wanted to see certain things, everything you will be able to see it in that way. Like
that's what how we perceive the things.
So somewhere you activate that reticular activating system, that there is a higher force that is protecting you. And this was a great experiment, and I don't think there is a better playground to learn this. I mean, and then after that entire notorious, they call it Valley of Hell, but I think there is no better name.
Correct. Absolutely.
It is really a hell.
Correct.
And then when you go up, your heart rate is going up. When you go down, your knees are hurting. But even in that, I saw people with arthritis, people with somewhere, I'm sure they are in their beta blockers and statins, and still they are like, no, I will finish this.
Yes.
And I met few people, and they were like, you take few steps, pause. Take few steps, pause, but don't give up.
Every 10 steps, pause for a minute, take a deep breath, then proceed. Just take small steps. That is what they tell you.
And I think this is the lesson for life. Everywhere, whatever you want to take, don't try to go at one stretch. Take pause, but don't stop. Don't give up, but again continue. And if an obstacle comes, again don't give up. Just wait. Have that patience. Something will show up.
Wins the race.
Exactly.
There's a story that we learned when we were in our LKG, you remember, no? So just take it slow and steady, then it will happen.
That's why there is a saying, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That's the whole message that I got in this. Even though things were delayed, But all those delays actually, when I look back, were one of the most reflective period of my life at that point of time. In that parikrama, like the 2 days, one day I got delayed in Simikot. What a beautiful town.
Yes.
And people were so nice there. Children were so nice to play there. And then even in Hilsa, that mountains and that Karnali river going through that, spending time to meditate, you never get to spend there, and there's no mobile range there. Fantastic. Finally, now one of the things that I'm very happy when you get into a flight is finally you don't have access to internet. So you don't have to check things.
Yes.
And that was another blessings there. And then, like if delays happen, don't give up. And things don't go your way, just hold on to your end goal. But let loose the outcome. This was the biggest lesson for me. And when I look back, people ask me, will you go back? And I'm, of course, I'm definitely going back.
Yes, that is what. That is the entire beauty of it, because you have learned so much. You understood it is difficult. You know all those things, but still you want to go back. It is like your mother's place. How much ever comfort you have in your in-laws' place, you have everything there. But then going back to your mother's place is something which is filled with warmth. It is filled with happiness.
Even though it throws you out of comfort.
Correct. Exactly. That's what. Even though it throws you out of comfort, you'll have various other problems, issues with it. But eventually, the happiness, the bliss that you get is different.
I think when people ask, I want to do a Kailash Parikrama, and when they ask, what would you recommend them, how to prepare for this?
So they should at least start doing it 6 to 8 months in advance. First of all, they should try to spend half an hour for themselves. Sit quietly in a place. Try to meditate. Even if they don't know how to meditate, let them just keep their eyes shut and try to chant any mantra of their choice. Because Kailasa, Shiva doesn't say, you didn't say Om Namah Shivaya and chant, so please don't come here. You said only Rama Rava. So that kind of a thing is not there. So just chant some mantra that you know and be yourself. Try to be out of the mobile and everything for half an hour every day. Do pranayama and do walking, because only physical training will not do much. Please do your, mental training and train your soul for that. Try to read. Try to understand the importance of that place, because you're simply not going to a place of, it is not a tourist destination. Exactly. It is not how you go to Italy, or it is not how you go to, I'm going to Singapore, I went to Sentosa, I went to the Jurong Bird Park. It is not like such kind of a place. This is a place where you have to understand the importance. When you go to Rakshasthal, what is the importance of Rakshasthal? Why is it salty? Why don't you have even a living creature there? Try to understand that. Try to understand the story. After that, what is the story of Manasarovar? How was it created? So why is it so important to us? What is this Gauri Kund? So when you see a place, after understanding the importance behind it, we will also be able to absorb it fully. So once you decide to go, please try to read more about it. Talk to people who have gone there. Keep some time for yourself. That is, try to meditate. Try to just listen to your body, listen to your soul. So I think all these things would really help you. And do pranayama, because oxygen is very minimal there. So just try to do all these things and walk at least 6 kilometers a day. And one thing that everyone told me was I need to reduce weight. I tried my best, but I believe Lord Shiva didn't want me to reduce weight. He wanted me to see me like this only, but I didn't have any problem. Touch wood. So, like any other person, even I would have felt better had I shed a few kilos down. But then, this was not the hindrance. The hindrance lies in your mind. So, the block is in your mind. Free your mind. Why am I telling you to sit for half an hour? Simply so that you don't have rest of the thoughts coming in. You don't have, have I off the stove in the kitchen? So what am I going to cook tomorrow? What am I going to pack for my kids tomorrow? My son's exam, what is he going to write? So as a normal lady, we will have all these tensions and apprehensions within us. So try to relieve yourself. So that cannot be done on a single day. That's why I said you need at least 6 to 8 months time to get yourself mellowed down.
Hmm.
So just be yourself for half an hour without the phone, without any thoughts.
And there are people who say that in spite of doing all the preparation, sometimes you might be struggling there. Don't panic in that times. You know, some people, when they go through that initial acclimatization, I saw a few of the participants, they suddenly had nausea and headache, and they were like panicking, should I go back? But there were people whose oxygen levels really dropped down and they had to come down. And there were people who were like just a mild headache and they took this tablet called Diamox and they were feeling fine. So, and one person, like, he was like, I will not take any of these tablets because it will have side effects. And they had it. So I think they should also be prepared to take Diamox if in case things are getting challenging for them to go to the
Exactly, that is what they ask you to do, because we are all amateurs. Those people have been taking people for such a long, these groups, they have been taking all these yatras, so they know better than us. They know what uncertainty is over there. So we don't know what is going to happen, but at least they have an idea. So we have to definitely go by what they say. Even in our group, we were a group of 19. I think 19 of us experienced different issues. One person had loose bowels. Other person had nausea, giddiness. I was down with headache for my acute migraine for 2 days. The other person, loss of appetite. So it was, see, if everyone has the same issue, we can understand, okay, it is because of altitude and all those things. But then each person is having a different issue. So we were also wondering, why is it so? See, generally, if it is a food poison, then everyone will have the same issue. So like that, when you reach an altitude, a place of a higher altitude, they said, okay, you will have giddiness, you will have nausea. But why loose stools? Like, and one person had cramps, so he was not able to get up from bed. So it is like, we were not able to understand how each person was having a different issue. But then all these lasted for only less than 24 hours. And that was the day when we were asked to acclimatize in Taklakot. So we had 2 days and 2 nights in Taklakot to get acclimatized to this high altitude. So we were all able to, by the day, then we were all thinking, oh, maybe this is all our karmic effect. We will get over all these things before we reach there. Because we don't know what kind of a place it is. And no, because if we have to reach Kailasa, we know we have to be pure in every way. So maybe God is preparing us for that. All the karmic depths and all the things that we have created is all going back. So
I think everybody has their own journey, and I also saw one gentleman, he is doing it for the 5th or 6th time. And he's saying every time there is a freshness going again. Maybe certain things he knows, but every time there is something new that he will have a revelation.
Correct. A newer experience.
A newer experience,
100%
newer things.
yes. Because even I would be going, for sure. Because the joy that you get, the bliss that you get, the experience that you get. Seriously, if you ask me to explain, I will not be able to explain. Because this is something that needs to be experienced rather than explaining, So only thing that I always tell people is that if you have the slightest inclination or the desire to go, think no further. Because if you've, okay, I will go next year. Next year, you're only increasing by 1 more year. Your age is only increasing by 1 more year. Where you are not going to come down in your energy or stamina or physical fitness. So don't delay it any further. If you have that inclination, do it at the earliest. Because you shouldn't repent in future.
I also saw people in their mid-70s.
No, above 70, the government is not giving visa now.
Oh, I see.
The Chinese government has stopped giving visa. It is given only to people below the age of 70.
I see.
And another thing, I don't know if you noticed, there is no tree there. There is no logs also. So that is the reason why you see a lot of skulls of yaks and all those things. Because nothing is cremated there. Even if a soul attains moksha there, what happens is that they cremate it with the tubes and tires, because there is no log of wood there. Or they give it to the hospital in Darchan. Or if you want, or if you have already taken the insurance and everything, your body will be transported to India. Because I had taken insurance and all those things and got. Because my family was so concerned about it. I was like, don't worry, I'm not so lucky. But then the problem, you know what? Again, during older days, when people say that, okay, I want to go to Kailasam, that means they have given up everything in life and they're going. Just like now what we say, no, I'm going to Kashi, means that they have given up everything in life and they are going there, attaining moksha or going into the what to say, they are going to become a sannyasi or whatever. So that is the kind of feel that people over here also feel, that when I say that I'm going to Kailasha, they're like, oh God, why at this age? So it was my husband who insisted, no, take an insurance and go.
No, that insurance is you have to definitely have it, yes.
100% yes, because a yatri in our group also had this problem of oxygen. Her oxygen level dropped down to 39. So it was very difficult. We had to call the ambulance and she had to be taken to the base camp. So that is all there. It is all mixed,
It's going to be prepared for chaos. It's not going to be a walk in the park for sure. And when I see the whole thing, how they have organized, and when you go and tell, okay, somebody is having this low oxygen and not able to, and the receptionist is like, okay, we'll come now. And they come and just give the oxygen and they say, just chill.
Correct.
And they are used to that.
Exactly.
And these Tibetan people, they are so used to all this, and they live in one of the harshest climate. My goodness.
See, the Darchin, it is open only 6 months a year.
I can imagine.
Rest 6 months, it is all carpeted in snow. What will they do? That is the reason why you don't have any vegetables there. You have only potatoes and pulses there. You don't have anything else.
Momos.
Momos. That is the only thing that you have there because of the climate. And only 6 months they need to work. The rest 6 months they don't do anything. Just like our Kedarnath, Badrinath, all those places also same thing. But at least they have accessibility to the fresh crops and all those things. But over here, this is in some remote area. What to do? At least be happy that you have some kind of a arrangement that is there for you to spend the night.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is that at Derapuk, you would have seen the Derapuk monastery.
Yes.
This was built in the 7th century.
Wow.
This Derapuk monastery. It is a working monastery. It is still a working monastery.
I stayed just beneath that.
Beneath that, okay. It is right opposite the north face
Yeah,
of
north face
Kailash.
of Kailash, yes.
And you would have seen the Chiyu monastery. That is in Manasarovar. That is an older monastery than this.
Okay.
So, now we have these many facilities. We have our jackets, we have our thermals, we have the trekking shoes and
pony.
everything. Yes, and just imagine
those
in
times.
the 7th century, see, our spiritual guru for us, the Adi Shankaracharya, you would have heard about him. He has visited Kailash umpteen number of times. He got the Saundarya Lahari script from Lord Shiva himself, and he has brought home 4 Spatika Lingas. That is one put in every one that has been installed in every mutt that he has consecrated. That is one in the north, south, east, west. There's the Sringeri, Dwaraka, Puri and the Joshi mutt. That is all bought directly from Kailash. And he, a person who was just having a dhoti, a wooden paduka, that is a wooden footwear, not even a trekking shoe, and just a loincloth. Nothing else.
I mean,
and
we think that it is inhuman.
Exactly.
But there are people who do that.
Right, that's what. So,
I had an interview with one person. I don't know if you heard this gentleman called Wim Hof. He's quite famous.
Correct.
He's an Iceman.
Yes.
So he was talking about his experience of he climbed Mount Everest with just one shorts. No shoes, nothing to, just one gym shorts.
Oh my God.
And when I asked him where does he get all of this, and if you read about his work and his book, he trains people to do ice bath. You have to submerge yourself. And he was telling that discomfort is in your mind. And when he came to India, he saw a lot of these yogis in that ice cold and they don't care. They have a way to disconnect from that pain and discomfort. And that is what you see in this Tibetan people also.
Correct.
They are able to disconnect from that biting cold. You feel it in your bones. My goodness.
100% yes.
That night in that tent when I was sleeping, when I checked what is the weather in that area, it went close to -8. And it was windy. That's the problem.
Yeah, when it's windy, it becomes even more colder.
It's like our heat here.
Correct,
Even though it's 30 degrees, it feels like 40 because of the humidity.
Correct.
That's how it felt. So I think they train themselves to come out of that comfort. And our species evolved to be too comfortable. And we are still struggling to come out of basic.
The thing is, we cannot come out of that luxury zone. That is our problem. So if you have to go to these places, experience what bliss is, you have to come out of this luxury. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Because this comfort is keeping you in your materialistic world.
Correct.
Because there is more beyond that Like we call it Stula Sharira and Sukshma
Sukshma
Sharira.
Sarira.
And that Sukshma Sharira is where you find this bliss, like Ananta Kosham,
Correct.
Annamaya Kosham.
Panchakosha when you say
Panchakoshas.
correct.
So comfort is again, putting you in that physical side. So here you have no choice. It will vaporize your physical side, your
100%.
Kailash.
See, that is the reason why when you see Aghoris, when you see the Nagas,
Hmm.
people make fun of them, telling, see what they are. Can we stand like that at least for 10 minutes?
Hmm.
No. Then what guts do we have to make fun of them?
Hmm.
The way of life that those people lead, we cannot even think of. So they are much
Evolved.
beyond our evolved, much beyond our imagination and much beyond the scientific world.
Hmm.
I think that is what, because now, see, you will be able to
I wouldn't
understand-
call it much beyond scientific world. I would call it much beyond our logic.
Hmm.
Because our logic is very limited.
Exactly. Correct. Now, what I was thinking is, if I'm talking about my experience of Kailash experience to a 20-year-old person, what I saw, I told you the spiritual experiences that I had, if I tell that to a 20-year-old, you're mad.
Hmm.
Okay? Just think, Amma. Don't be so naive. Or come on, just think. How is it even possible? They would talk like that. But if I'm talking this, if I'm explaining or discussing this with a 40-year-old, he would be able to understand it. Because he has come out of that, he's much more evolved. He's ready to accept. Because you can just tell something. If I talk to my son, he is still, it is not there, the book.
Mm-hmm.
It is not there like this. How can you say that? They start questioning.
Yeah, it's a propaganda.
Correct. True.
You're
Because they
trained to
believe
think in
only
that
what
way.
is there in the book is right. You don't have anything beyond that.
Or they are yet to read the book. It is there. There is this streetlight effect.
Hmm.
Streetlight effect is, there was a gentleman who lost his keys.
Hmm.
So when he lost his keys, one police officer saw him searching for the keys under the streetlight. Why are you looking for the keys? He said, I lost my keys, so I'm looking for it. And the police officer, why are you looking here? I lost it, so I'm looking for it. And he said, are you sure you lost it here? I said, no, actually I lost it few blocks away. Then why are you looking here? Means this is the only place where there is light.
Correct.
The so-called logical materialistic world, we are stuck with certain narratives. We are not
Correct.
able to go beyond that. And in order to go beyond that, you need to be a real curious seeker. And that is where you
And
are
we
able
have to
to.
break the barrier also.
Yeah, definitely. But as you said, that seed has to be there inside. That I need to know what is there beyond this.
Correct.
We still don't have answers to so many questions. Like we still don't know what makes a child, girl or a boy.
Correct.
Science doesn't have still answers from where the nails and hair is growing. I mean, why certain things in the human body still, we don't have the answers. Like so many diseases, we don't know why it is happening.
Correct.
So that doesn't mean there is no cause. It's just that we are yet to connect the dots.
Yeah, exactly.
So that
We have
ability to
not
be
reached
open to that.
level.
Exactly.
Correct.
So that's why I said the word science has been hijacked by people who can only prove it in the laboratory. There's much more than
More
that.
than that.
And that, it comes with observations, it comes with a lot of intuition. And these people, when you're talking about Agoras or Adi Shankara, they didn't have distractions. They were so in tune with their own soul and their nature and their higher powers. And in that, they are constantly being channeled.
No, they did have distraction, but they didn't want those distractions to affect them.
Yeah.
See, we cannot say that you have the phone in front of you. You can either take it or not take it. It is up to you to decide. Even when you don't have a call or a message coming in, we still take it and just see what is it. We just scroll through it. So the distraction is within us. We can actually train ourselves whether we need to take it or not. So it is up to these people, that is, as you said, Adi Shankara, they decided that this is their journey. This is how it needs to be. So these distractions are not going to affect me.
I think on one hand, yes, they had distractions, but looking at the current distractions that we humans have, it's on another level. And the ability to keep yourself in that focus, like that's what we call it as tapas, right? You keep a magnifying glass and that light comes and it consecrates and it can burn a fire. That ability to convert that energy into something that can transmute or transfer or transform, that is the real challenge of the modern mind today. And when you go to these places, you realize those days people had to travel. I mean, we are complaining because at 1 day is delayed because of weather. Those days people used to take years to reach there.
Correct.
Without any proper clothes,
Yes.
proper food, proper surroundings. And they were in with that raw, brutal nature. And we are so...
No food also.
No food sometimes.
Because we have
yes.
one person who's carrying food for us in this yatra. So just imagine.
No, we are so comfortable and having that spiritual, intellectual conversation. So, Vardhini, talk about your book, please. If people want to purchase that, and what made you write that book, Miles to Mahadev?
Yes, it's a coffee table book. You would have heard about the concept of Pancha Kailas. That is Mani Mahesh Kailash, Adi Kailash, Shrikant Kailash, Kinnur Kailash, and Kailash Manasarovar. Okay, so I completed my yatra to 3 Kailash. That is the Mani Mahesh Kailash, Adi Kailash, and Kailash Manasarovar. So it was then that I understood that many people had the fear that, oh, this is very difficult. I cannot undertake such a yatra. It is not for me. But they are willing to go to America, Brazil, all those places. They are willing to travel anywhere abroad. But they want to go, but they are unwilling. Mainly because they say it is very difficult. So I just want to make it sure to the people, convey the message to the people that if you have the inclination, it is just the desire that matters. It is not as difficult as it is explained or portrayed to be. Because we have been reading books written by many people, but they went during the early 2000s. Those days it was very difficult. But now, for Adi Kailash, you need to trek only hardly 4 kilometers. Not more than that. Because till the base you have a vehicle going. For Mani Mahesh Kailash, also same thing. That is, of course you need to trek. You have a helicopter journey. But again, the trek is for 14 kilometers. So, but it is not as difficult as it is described to be. Any one of us, but the Shrikant Kailash and Kinnur Kailash, those two are very, very difficult. That I know. So, at this age, I cannot experience those 2 places. So, I thought at least I will go to these 3 places and the experience, oh my God, it is something beyond description. So I wanted to make it into a coffee table book, which has got it's a travelogue. It describes the route through which it has gone and photographs of every place, so that you get an idea and the importance of every place also. Okay, first when you reach Rakshasthal, what is the importance of Rakshasthal? What story? And Ravana composed this thing also, Shiva Tandava Stotram also there. So everything, why did he do that? So everything is written in that book. So it is not a normal coffee table book. Normal coffee table books are just for look. It is not for reading purpose. But this is a book for reading purpose.
Okay.
So it is a descriptive travelogue of all the 3 yatras. So the route which you have to take, how it is, it is published by Madhrubhumi Books, and it is available on Amazon also. Yeah, it's under the name of Miles to Mahadev, because it is like as the name goes, Miles to Mahadev. That's it.
Thank you so much, Vardhini. It was really a honor to have you and discuss about this. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Vignesh. And this is a topic that I really love, and I want people to experience this bliss.
Sure.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.